I can't lie, it's actually killing me to make this video because of how much this series means to me and how much I truly deep down wanted to conclude it and bring you guys something that was going to blow your minds and present this message to you guys. But I don't think I can put myself back in the place I was to give you something of that caliber. So I want to talk to you guys today a little bit about According to Jim. I started the series my freshman year of college, and I was truly in probably the darkest times of my life. Just shitty mindset, no motivation, and I found an outlet, and I found something that I knew I loved to do, and I put my entire heart and soul into making these videos because it was the only thing that could distract me from feeling shitty. So I started cranking these videos out, and at the time they didn't get many views, maybe 2,000-3,000 per post, but the comments I was getting at the times, just seeing people thanking me for posting them and laughing and knowing I was giving people joy in their day, was eliminating my sadness. And so I continued it. So a little bit into the series, I introduced this Elder Chaos character. And that's basically why I'm making this video, to kind of explain what that represented and why I put it in and what I was aiming to deliver with that. Basically, I introduced this character for fun one episode, and it wasn't intentional at all. I just wanted to create a side story alongside all of the shit that my character was doing in the game. And one day I called Framed on the phone. I remember this, in my old house in my living room, and I started talking to him about this red guy and what I could do. And after the phone call, after a few brainstorms, I concluded that I was going to turn it into a representation of anxiety and depression and something that basically consumes your mind all the time. Something that interrupts your daily tasks and comes in out of nowhere when you least expect it. Something that you can't get out of your head, and even when you pursue it, it seems like it's always one step ahead of you, no matter how hard you battle. And that's what I was going to try to go for. I know it might seem stupid kind of doing that through RuneScape, but it was just my way of expression, and people seemed to like it. So the storyline with him, in I think it was episode 3, the Jimmy character meets the botanist. I don't know what he's called. I can't remember. The guy who makes the potions. And the guy's crying that his son died. He described where his son was, and his son was in the shed in Edgeville. And in the first episode, my character killed a man in the shed while talking about some existential crisis he was having. So I tied that in at the time as just like a funny little joke, like, oh my god, I killed this guy's son, whoops. And I decided to intertwine that storyline with the Elder Chaos storyline, and that was basically like the spark of how he came to be. And the Elder Chaos was this man that I killed in the shed, who now came to my character and was haunting my character because he knew of his internal mental struggles, and he was giving him that sense of anxiety and fear and not knowing how to continue with your life. So later down the series, my goal was to reveal that this Elder Chaos guy was, in fact, this Edgeville shed dude, and he wasn't trying to scare Jim, and he wasn't trying to kill him or anything. He was trying to assist him in defeating these anxieties and getting past these obstacles that were in his way every single day while he was, just going about his life. And it kind of reflected into what I was doing at the time. While I was making these videos, I was going to therapy on a weekly basis and trying to figure out my own head. And I figured that making this character through this series and providing this sort of sense of scary, don't know what to do concept would tie in perfectly into what was going on in my mind. And I figured, I have people watching this. I'm getting a few thousand views on each video. And, what if it helps somebody? And I think it did. I got a few comments thanking me for making it and telling me to keep doing it. And the dinosaur episode with Sarah Dahman making this speech, I still get comments to this day telling me how much that meant to them and how much it spoke to them. And that's basically all I wanted, was for people to resonate with it and have it be meaningful to them, because it was extremely meaningful to me. And I'm glad I could do that for the short time I was making that series. And I kind of, I'm sad that I don't get to conclude it in the way that I was picturing. I had these ideas for finales and even pitched a movie one time. But I was never really back in that mindset, because I did beat anxiety and I still deal with it every day. And I learned through my own methods of how to defeat it and how to better myself mentally. And at the time of making these videos were the only thing I knew. And as I grew up, and I know it hasn't even been 2 years yet, but, as I matured and conquered these mental obstacles that I was going through, it was hard for me to put myself back in that place and really capture that sort of anxiety representation that I wanted to display for people. And, it showed. I posted, according to Jim, episode 13 or 12, something like that. I think it was 12. Yeah, episode 12. This previous summer, just to kind of try to jumpstart the series again. And I put it on private. It was not what I wanted to do with it. I just kind of revived it because there was so much pressure to revive it. And I shouldn't have made a bullshit episode like that. And, I apologize for those who were waiting for so long for me to just put out something that didn't answer any questions or left them hanging still. But I hope this kind of clears things up as to what all that was. And my plans were to bring it back through the By the Way series. And the more I thought about it, I talked to a bunch of people, and I'm pretty content on just being straightforward about not having that same passion for that series anymore and wanting to move on into other things. So basically, to conclude everything, I'm not going to be making an episode 12 of According to Jim, and I don't think I'm going to continue the By the Way series, because the only reason I made that series in the first place was to revamp this Elder Chaos character to kind of conclude what was on my shoulders for so long. But I think this is the healthier way to do it. Obviously, this isn't how I planned to conclude everything and wrap everything up, but it has been something on my shoulders for a very long time in between posting the videos I have been. So I want to get that off, and I want to focus on creating the content that you guys deserve and that make me happy. And I feel like getting this stress out of my life is what needs to happen to move forward. So that being said, thank you guys for the support you gave me while releasing that series. I know a lot of you aren't around anymore, but those who are and were here during the days of releasing that, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, because I truly cannot articulate how much that helped me in my own life and my own progression. So there you go. Thank you guys.